Now we're about to see this in action. See examples in scripture of people choosing, of people rebelling against the Most High and rebelling against the enemy. We have to see this in action in the scripture and understand what's going on. Genesis 3, starting at the first verse, 1 through 13. And we've heard this story. We know this story. They gave us this in Christianity. Now the serpent was more cunning than any beast of the field which Yahuwah had made. And he said to the woman, there are many different, we live in the dark ages, and there are many different people coming up with what happened in this garden, and they are making up things that's not in the scripture. We cannot do this. I can't make up or tell you this is what I think happened, and I can't show you. And so people coming up with all this stuff about even the enemy having kids together, having a kid together, and we don't read that anywhere. That's madness. But something going on here. But they are having a communication. Another point. The enemy has a way of communicating with the righteous, with those that's listening to the Most High. And his job is to turn or get us to rebel against the Most High. And he said to the woman, damn the conversation, has Yahuwah indeed said, you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? We know the Most High commanded them not to eat of a particular tree, but the other trees they could eat. And they was satisfied. They had no reason to eat off the tree that he told them not to eat off. But that was a command. That was a commandment. Now I want you to notice something. This enemy, he's slick. It says he's more cunning. Cunning is trickery. Deceiving. Wise in deceiving. This is what he is. He's wise in deceiving. He used truth and lies. Anyone that listens to someone speaking truth and lies, you're going to be in trouble. Because you're not going to know when is it the truth and when is it a lie. We don't listen to people that lie. We shouldn't listen to people. The righteous shouldn't listen to people that lie. And we have some people that's calling themselves righteous, but they listening to a liar. And they don't really understand what's going on. And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree that's in the midst of the garden, he has said, you shall not eat it. All right. She know the command. She's not deceived by the command. She know the command from the Father. Nor shall you touch it. See, we shouldn't touch something that's wicked. And our people like to touch wicked things. Just touch it. Just touch it. Put your finger on it. Touch it. We have no business touching a man has no business touching another man's wife. But this is what we do. This is no touch it lest you die. So this is the command. You touch this, you're going to die. Then the serpent said to the woman, you will not surely die. See, he's going against that word which was spoken. See, Most High said come out of her. He didn't mean come out of her physically. Surely, he mean to come out of her spiritually. Don't you hear the voice of the enemy? That's the voice of the enemy. And our people don't understand this. That's why we have to let them know. No, that's not what the scripture says. He never said come out spiritually. But yet, the enemy got men and women proclaiming to our people, come out of her spiritually. Come out of her ways. You will not surely die. For Yahuwah knows that on the day you eat of it, your eyes will be opened. That's true. Mixing truth and lies. You will not surely die. That's a lie. And the righteous have to know the difference between the truth and the lie. When the enemy comes to us, because he's coming to you and he comes to me. For Yahuwah knows that in the day you eat of, your eyes will be open and you will be like him, knowing good and evil. You will be like him, knowing good and evil, meaning you will be able to know good and evil just like him. And when the woman saw that the tree, he convinced her. She saw the tree was good for food. So people get convinced we are to come out spiritually. They're convinced when they settle in their mind, that's good. Yeah, we should come out spiritually. And then they don't come out physically. You see, they don't listen to the enemy. So now destruction has to hit these people. So the righteous tell these people, we try to tell these people, no, it never said spiritually. It said physically, come out of a rats, the land. So when the woman saw the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to her eyes, it looked good, and the tree desirable to make one wise, she took of its fruit and ate. Here is rebellion against the Most High. She also gave to her husband, and he ate. Then the eyes of both were open. See, the enemy told the truth. You eat of this, your eyes will be open. And they knew that they were naked. Now they know they're naked. And they sewed fig leaves together and made themselves covering. And they heard the sound of Yahuwah walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And the first man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Most High among the trees in the garden. They hid themselves. See, when we do something we shouldn't do, we start hiding ourselves. We can't pray to him like we normally pray to him because we feel guilty about something. They felt guilty. They felt bad. When you can't go to the Most High with a sincere heart, with honesty, then you've done something you shouldn't be doing. Your conscience is not clear. We have a conscience. Then Yahuwah called to the first man, said to him, where are you? See, the Most High will ask you a question he already know the answer to. This is a rhetorical question. He asks people rhetorical questions all the time. Where are you? So he said, I heard your voice in the garden and I was afraid. I was afraid. Look. He did something he wasn't supposed to do. And he was afraid. We do things we don't have no business doing. Then we get afraid because I was naked and I hid myself. And he said, they've been walking around naked for days. And he said, who told you you were naked? Here's another rhetorical question. Who told you you were naked? He knows the whole story. He's all seeing. He saw everything. He heard everything. Everything you do, everything I do and say is being recorded. I'm recording this video right now, and they are recording me recording the video. The Most High, not the enemy. Have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you should not eat? Here's another rhetorical question. He knows the answer. Then the man said, and we wonder where Abraham get this from when he's always asking people questions. And then the man said, so we have to ask people questions, and their answers will, the answer that they answer, it will be against the statement that they're making. Any question, they say something, you ask them a question, and if they answer that question, the answer to the question will go directly against what they are doing. That's how the Most High operate. That's how Abraham operated. That's how our people operated. So then the man said, the woman whom you gave me, she gave to me of the tree and I ate. I'm not interested in the blame game. The people like to go into the blame game. We're not interested in this. Each one of us will be held accountable for what we do. Each one of us. And Yahuwah said to the woman, what is this you have done? And the woman said, the serpent deceived me and I ate. You see, here we go, listening to someone that we shouldn't be listening to. My leader deceived me, so I stayed in Babylon. No, you are going to be responsible. You are going to be responsible for choosing that evil way or that good way. Each one of us. And we won't be able to put the blame on someone else. It won't be anyone's fault but our fault. The Most High expect us to choose the right way. He expect us to be right rebels and not rebels against him. Next example, Yahusep 2 and 3. Watch this. And we know the story. This is Yahusep. He's in the house of one of the chief captains of Pharaoh. He had a responsibility that was entrusted in him. And he said, I struggled against a shameless woman. Look at this. Urging me to transgress with her. She was trying to get him to rebel against the Most High. But he was the right rebel. He rebelled against this woman and against this wickedness. This is an example of a right rebel. Yahusep was a right rebel. We have to know this. That woman wanted him. She wanted him very badly. But the mighty one, Yasharal, my father, delivered me from the burning flame. Now, when you don't become the right rebel, you will be burned up in a burning flame. And we do need help from the Most High. We need to do what we have to do to get out of these situations. Get out of these wicked situations. Many of our people are in wicked situations. Get out of them. When you become righteous, you know wicked situations. So we get out of these wicked situations. We get out of wicked relationships with friends, with family, anyone that pulls you away, or anyone that's pulling you away from the Most High, anyone that's trying to stop you from being a right rebel, and they're trying to get you to rebel against the Most High. He says, I was cast into prison, I was beat, I was mocked, but Yahuwah granted me favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. For Yahuwah do not forsake them that fear him. This is the truth. He knew this. Neither in darkness, nor in bonds, tribulation, or in necessities. You know, you need things. Yahuwah is not put to shame. Is not put to shame as a man, nor as the Son of Man is he afraid, nor as one that is upon the earth is he weak or affrighted. This is not the Most High's attributes. We have to know this. But in all those things, he give protection. We have to know him as the one that give protection. Protection to the right rebels. There's something we have to do. The people think Most High going to do everything. Yahusep had to run from this woman. Yahusep had to fight against this woman. Yahusep had to fight against what was wrong. And the drivers, he comfort. Though for a little space he depart and try the inclination of the soul. The Most High will leave us in situations. It feels like he's not around. He does this. He leaves us. He departs. Just like the woman, the first man in the garden, he departed. He left him. And then he sits back and watch. And we feel like he's not here. He's not around. He's not answering my prayers. And he's sitting there watching you and I to see what you're going to do. He's watching to see if you're going to be the right rebel. I can't feel his presence. It's because he left you. He doesn't want you to feel his presence. In 10 temptations, he showed me approved. 10 temptations. These temptations, it was requiring him to do something wicked, and he rebelled against them, which make him a right rebel. And in all of them I endured. For endurance is a mighty charm. You have to endure. I have to endure through these temptations. Whatever temptation. I'm married. If a woman after me, I have to endure this temptation. I have to do whatever it takes to get away from this temptation. I can't do this wicked thing. Don't you know this is wicked? Why can't you get your own husband? This is wicked. I'm married. We can't do this thing. There are many men you can marry. Get your own husband. I'm a right rebel